What's going on, JR Aviation? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Cirrus episode 2. We are not home in Arizona yet. This is halfway on our trip home. Owen, where the heck are we?
Middle of nowhere, Texas. Winter County, if anybody knows where that is.
Literally the middle of nowhere, Texas. There's not another soul in sight. And yeah, but Christian, this video is obviously going to be highly requested from the first video, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking forward to this. It's why we bought this plane, why we didn't rent a plane, why we didn't go with a Cessna or a Piper.
Pretty much just, are you crazy? Did you even think about this? Yes, we definitely did, and I think we made a really good decision on this one. We're really happy with it. It'll be up to us over the next few months to really get a lot of use out of it and follow through with what we have planned.
Heck yeah. This airplane, quick little walk around. Here it is, 2003 SR20. IO 360, 200 horsepower. Of course, it's got those beautiful doors, matches our McLaren. Here's the graphics that it has on now, but again, this is all, they're just big stickers. So these can come off and we're gonna do a custom wrap most likely. So we got a lot planned. We're gonna talk about the modifications in just a moment. Let's get going. Come on, come on. Alrighty guys, we made it up to cruising altitude and the sun is being blocked by some clouds right now, so we've got good picture right now. So let's hop right into this. Christian, I guess you could start it off with, because you were the big proponent for this. He's been searching for weeks, doing tons of research, and that's how we landed in this plane in particular.
Yeah, yep, so you're a proponent of the purchase aspect versus rental, because our electric plane that you know from the channel that we have on order is about 2 years out. And so you know how many times we've promised on this channel that we would be working toward our pilot's license for you guys and documenting the whole process. And so we needed to do something about that. So we were left with either rental times 2 people could really add up, and purchasing a plane is, you know, a possibility in that circumstance. If you have a place to put it, if you have the finances, it could be a good option.
Yeah, so for starters, you guys know us, we don't hop on a deal, especially with cars, unless it is a good deal, and there's the potential to either break even or make money. That's always the goal. Airplanes, it's a lot harder to do that because maintenance is a lot higher, insurance is a lot higher, storing it's a lot higher than cars. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to turn a profit on this plane, but I think we'll definitely be able to minimize our losses and be way further ahead than compared to renting a plane, something like that.
First of all, just scouring for a good deal, doing all your research, all your homework to know what is a good deal and what isn't. But then also in general, the market is a big factor. And so are you buying at the top of the market? Is it a slow point in the market? And these past few years have been really interesting because the market got extremely hot. People were wanting planes and couldn't buy them, and it drove the prices up, or they couldn't be delivered. And so, but we're a little bit past that, and it's kind of slowed down a little bit. And so we feel that we're not buying at the top.
So SR20 in particular, why did we lean toward this? Well, while we're talking about price, we definitely think it's toward the bottom of its depreciation curve, the early generations. I mean, you're talking, this is G1 2003, so 2003, do you want to hit on that in particular, why 2003 is a better model year? And just
yeah, small improvements throughout the serial number, throughout production, and the 2003 in particular went to all electronic, so no vacuum system, so simplifies things a little bit further, hopefully a little bit less easier on the maintenance. So the G1s are the oldest Cirruses, but they're still a relatively new airplane, newer airframe. This one has 1,600 hours on it. They're still perfectly capable, IFR avionics, and lots of good features. The MFD in particular, we've been using a lot this trip.
Right, I mean, you don't need to buy a $1 million Cirrus when you can buy this for whatever you guys got it for, and it's got everything you need. I mean, we were flying IFR, no problem, into the clouds, shooting approaches. I mean, this will take you right down on an ILS, just the same as a $1 million Cirrus would.
So for the price point of a G1, you know, being a little over the $100,000 mark on the lower end,
to me, it's almost the price of the airframe. For this unique airframe, composite, wide cabin, really comfortable. Planes kind of have a bottom dollar. We feel that we're getting close to that on a Cirrus.
I think the most unique feature that some of you probably know is that the Cirrus has a parachute. So in a case where your landing options are limited, such as you're flying over mountainous terrain, there's not a suitable spot to land, you have a parachute, and it'll take you right down. I heard the impact is just the equivalent of falling 10 feet, so it's the safety record for that is pretty good.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't have to use that, but it is nice to have that feature in there, and I think that's been a big selling point of Cirrus is the companions of flyers. Family members probably like it a lot more getting into a plane if it's considered a little safer and you have that as a worst case scenario backup.
So it is an extra maintenance item, especially on the G1s. It costs a little bit more because you have to go through a access panel in the fuselage, in the airframe, and patch it back over. The G2s, you can do it completely through the baggage area compartment, so it's a little bit less. It's about maybe $15,000 every 10 years.
All right, that's what I was going to say. So that's another cost you got to keep in mind. So we mentioned the training aspect, and we do think the SR20 is a great training aircraft. Owen, what do you think? You train on 172s, and for those of you who don't know Owen yet, and haven't seen our videos before, man, you have flown so many different planes, dozens of different models and types, and you have, what, 1,800 hours now?
Yep, roughly. And the Cirrus, I think it was an easy transition to get used to, especially from a 172 or anything else you've flown previously. I mean, with me and the Bonanzas, this will be no problem. But the side stick, not much getting used to. The sight picture was my biggest concern when I first flew a Cirrus, and it's just like landing any other airplane, and I think it's not overpowered, so it's got the perfect amount of power for being a trainer, and you got good instruments here for when you get your cross-country training. When you get to that point in your training, you get Garmin avionics, which will be perfect. And you can use this all the way through your instrument commercial too. So that's another thing. Some people buy an airplane, but they can only get to their private. They don't have the equipment to do instrument, and then they have to find something else, and then they're renting again. So you guys, in your situation, you can do this all the way through your commercial and even CFI training.
All right, so you think it'll fit our training?
So I think it will.
But for those first several hours, fixed gear, constant speed prop.
Exactly.
Simple.
And look at this fuel burn, 9 gallons per hour. You can't beat that.
That is really nice. Yeah,
I'd be doing double that in the Bonanza.
And we were at a ground speed of 140 knots at about this fuel burn earlier. We didn't have a big headwind.
You're right.
So the numbers don't lie. Let's touch on some other pros. So the comfort is definitely my favorite. You brought down the Mooney rocket a couple times. We've made videos of that on the channel. My knees would be shoved up into the yoke. And
if there was anybody behind you.
Yeah, but anyone in the back, Mooney wasn't going to work. Even the Bonanza at times, I was just rubbing my kneecap against some controls, and it's like, this plane is so well suited for tall people. Look at this, headroom. Look at this, shoulder room. Look at this, center console. Like, the comfort in this plane is fantastic for a four-seater. So that's one of my favorite parts.
So very well designed. You can tell they put a lot of thought into it, and it was years in the making, and to pull off this parachute, being one of the first to do that.
Speaking of the design, it is drop dead gorgeous. The ramp appeal and these doors. The Cirrus doors, like, come on.
Not just for looks, but for ease of ingress and egress. The doors get up out of your way. There's 2 of them, and you can stand up in the seat because it's kind of like a Ford GT, and so part of the roof is kind of part of the door, and so tons of room.
And it'll definitely look good when we pull it up next to our McLaren with both the doors going up. So definitely a pro of the design. It's just beautiful, beautiful looking plane. Flying a plane from 2003 is a lot more appealing to me than flying something from 1963.
40 years old. Things deteriorate whether it's flown or not. Maybe even more so when it's not flown. Pretty much everything's composite. There's a couple spots where on a pre-buy you would look for corrosion on like flap hinges and stuff, but shouldn't have to worry too much about that.
So compared to other planes, Christian, I'm sure they're wondering, people always will like to do the SR20, SR22 comparison, but price point, performance, I mean, SR22, this on steroids, I guess?
It's the same airframe, I believe. The later SR20s adopted the SR22 airframe, which is slightly wider wingspan. G3 went to carbon fiber wing spar, a little bit better useful load.
Some are certified for icing conditions.
Yeah, so even more capable. We're going to have this plane in Arizona, so hopefully great VFR weather, most of the time. So air conditioning perhaps would have been nice, available on the 22 or a newer 20. We're younger, we'll put up with it.
And 22 has, what, 300 horsepower, 310 horsepower,
yep.
Turbo engine.
Some of them are turbocharged, adds complexity, maintenance, stuff to do, shock cooling.
But it is definitely a beast, so that's just a whole new step up. Maybe one day far down the line, but like we said, trainer plane. So that's why we went 20 versus 22, and the price point, heck, we're saving so much money with the 20. For the whole package you get, it makes a whole lot of sense. Oh, and any other parts about flying it that are standing out to you? I know you don't have like, a crazy amount of Cirrus time.
Sure, yeah, no, we did the full checkout and everything with the instructor in this plane, and it's pretty easy to transition into. I've been spoiled flying a Bonanza around for quite a bit of hours, and it flies terribly compared to a Bonanza. It's really hard to get this thing trimmed out the way you want it with just the electric trim. There's no manual trim wheel that I can fine tune it to, so I'm just relying on very subtle inputs on the electric trim, and everything has its trade-offs. But for what you guys are doing for flight training, you don't need all those bells and whistles in a brand new Cirrus. So this is perfect for you guys.
Speaking of bells and whistles, we want to do something cool with the exterior like we mentioned in the intro. So we said we'd touch on some modifications we want to do. One of them could definitely be a wrap. We got to look into the regulations and make sure everything's good to go with a wrap.
But we have seen some wrapped planes and wrapped helicopters, so however they did it, we want to know.
And we want to do something crazy. Something with the JR Garage colors, maybe throw some JR Garage, JR Aviation logos on there. That's definitely going to be coming up, so stay tuned for that. Other things that people do on this plane would maybe be like a three-blade prop. This one has the 2-blade. There's pros and cons to both. The overhaul on the engine will eventually be coming. We should have some time before then. But at that point, I mean, there's no real upgrades you can do engine-wise. Stays at the 200 horsepower. Other modifications on the interior, avionics, that's definitely something we can do. Like we said, this package is decent for starting, but oh man, if we work some magic with Garmin and teamed up with some things, we could deck this plane out. What's your experience with the Garmin setup? We were brainstorming it.
Money was no problem. I'd rip out all these analog instruments and put in like a G500 or G600, maybe put in a JPI 930 engine monitor and rip all this out and put in like a GTN 750. So touchscreen. Yeah.
Ooh. See, something to work toward, guys.
There you go.
Maybe we have some Cirrus owners out there. That would be awesome. We would love to connect with you now that we just joined the family in a way. So drop a comment down below or message us on Instagram, JR Aviation 1 or JR Garage. We would love to hear from you and take any insight you have in the Cirrus ownership. We would love to absorb any info you have.
We've already joined the Cirrus forum and been already a wealth of information there.
So we are closing in on El Paso, Texas.
20 minutes out.
We'll be able to see Mexico once we get up close to El Paso, so that'll be cool to look down on Mexico.
On Juarez.
So another huge part about owning versus renting a plane that we got to hit on is the flexibility and convenience of owning your own plane. It will be just a stone's throw away from our warehouse where we keep all of our cars, so we can literally just hop in and go. And having it right there in Scottsdale, we'll be able to get to Southern California. We're right there next to Utah, New Mexico, Colorado, Vegas. This is a great little plane for those shorter trips. We're really looking forward to that for making YouTube videos for JR Aviation, traveling around for pleasure, or for our business. We're always traveling around the country for business side of things, so it'll be very convenient not having to rely on commercial airlines and delays and cancellations and just having our own plane, so that is huge.
Yeah, a lot of our travel is relatively last minute, so that'll be nice. And then another reason why we loved going with the newer Cirrus is that hopefully there'll be less downtime, down for maintenance, or another factor to lean us toward the Cirrus.
Approach on 124.25.
2425, Raymond, let's see it.
How'd you hear that over me talking? I couldn't hear anybody with me talking.
This is what you get with the
Say my first rodeo.
1800-hour pilot. Wow.
I'm starting to think he's friends with like all the controllers, and you let him know ahead of time that we were coming and expecting all of this.
You guys need to follow Owen on Instagram now. Pause this video. SJC Spotter. Every single day he is flying somewhere, and you drop plenty of insightful tips and tricks. You interview pilots. Oh, cool. Is that a helicopter? Wait, what? Helicopter?
Yeah, it's a Blackhawk.
We actually crossed into Mexico, and they sent the Blackhawks after us.
Yeah.
What's been your favorite part about flying and your job? I mean, you get paid to do what you love.
Oh yeah, can't beat it. I mean, my job as working for an aircraft sales company, I get to fly a lot of different aircraft types to a lot of different places all over the United States. and I do some corporate flying as well, flying the Piaggio, Pilatus, Citations. So nice variety of aircraft types. Then
and beyond the United States.
And beyond the United States, yeah.
Been to Russia.
Been to Russia last summer.
How was that? Not going back?
Not going back. Canada, Mexico, went to the Caymans, and slowly maybe we can cross more off with this thing. Who knows?
That leads into the freedom you have with a plane. I mean, that's a gift.
Exactly.
We don't even need to say that, but the freedom you have, you just feel like you can go wherever, do whatever, and it just unlocks a new piece of life that a lot of people don't get to experience. You know, pilots are becoming a rare breed, especially younger pilots, and hopefully with this channel, with us being younger, we can get more young aviators into this. You know,
well, look at us, 20,
22.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the goal. We got to get more people in the industry and share this amazing slice of life.
The opportunities it offers, the people you meet.
Everyone's so willing to share their knowledge and help new pilots out.
Just
go in here.
So I think as young people in aviation, especially with the following, is you can use that platform to bring awareness to younger people, because I think one problem is most people don't know that this is even a reachable thing for young people becoming a pilot. And two, if they know that it's even a possibility, they just say, oh, it's too expensive, it's too much work. Well, I mean, I did it when I was in high school. I paid for it all myself, so if it's something you're determined to do and you're willing to work for, make sacrifices for, it's certainly doable. There's certainly plenty of ways to save money during your flight training. When I was in high school, I was looking for every single possible way to save every penny I could, whether that was self-studying, using the flight simulator quite a bit, basically teaching yourself as much as you can, coming to each lesson prepared with your flight plan. You know, if you're doing a cross country, have that all planned out, so that way you're just basically, instead of having the instructor teach you, you're teaching him, and he's just improving it, you know?
Very true. And watch tons of YouTube videos, because those are free, right? You can learn so much, as have we, on a bunch of YouTube videos.
One more thing I forgot to add. Scholarships. There are a lot of aviation scholarships, flight training scholarships out there. EAA, AOPA, Women in Aviation, they all have scholarships. I got one for the EAA, so that certainly helped fund my flight training. And yeah, they're out there, so just go look for them, go apply for them, you never know.
Boom. Dropping the knowledge nuggets with Owen, SJC Spotter. Follow him on TikTok too, Owen Liefeld, and follow us on TikTok. But yeah, we got a beautiful sunset here. Wow, it's about to pass behind those mountains. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's the insight as to why we picked up this SR20. We are so happy. What an incredible day that we will never forget. And we're closing in on New Mexico and Arizona, so hopefully make the remaining way home in good time. We're looking forward to bringing it home. So subscribe if you guys are new, like this video if you enjoyed it, and then we'll see you guys in the comment section down below with your thoughts on our new pickup.
Signing off from Texas. Good night, everybody.
See you in the next one.
Say that it feels right.